here. If you're joining me at a later time, this is a great place to learn. We have an awesome community for you. My name is David Worrell. Welcome to our trading channel. We are going to go over the leader watch list. I have a few things I want to address before we do, and of course that's looking over the S&P 500 and ensuring we are in a safe environment to trades. We'll go over that. We'll go over some of our social sentiment, like the United States inflation rate. I know the media will tell you one thing about inflation, but the data will tell you something else. So we'll take a look at that. And of course, the gross domestic product. I shouldn't say of course because we don't look at it so much, but I do want you to see that we are making money. We're making money, winning, okay? Then we'll go over a little bit of that news, yada, yada, yada. Long story short, folks, we got an awesome show for you. And yes, we're gonna go over CrowdStrike, PLTR. We got Uber, WGS, TTWO. Do you know what Take-Two Entertainment is? I got an awesome idea for Take-Two Entertainment. I think I've mentioned to some of you guys in the Discord, but we'll go over that. We'll go over everything. How's the sound? How's everything sound, guys? Let's hear it. Hope you guys can hear everything. Jimmy Bright's in the building. Dan Bob says the music's a little faint. Okay, perfect. Well, we'll see how it goes. Zamora's in the building. Beef Stewie. What's going on, guys? It's good to see you squads in the building. I say we get this show on the road, baby. Look at this cup. Look at that. Anybody, hey, who can tell me who that is on my cup? Give me the name. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but Norman Conklin's in the building! Let's go, baby. I think I just woke my child up for you. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, Norman Conklin? Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the music. I'm glad it's not too loud. I'm glad it's not too quiet. Let's get this party started. Yeah, first and foremost, look at PLTR. Rip, Tater Chip extended, but we're going to go over that really soon because this is our poster child. We always want something leading, and this sure as hell is leading. Jimmy Bright got it right off the get. It is Ursula. Yes, it is. Oh, Ursula. Jimmy Bright is on top of it. Good afternoon. What's up, Yosef? It's good to see you in the building. Thank you so much, Yosef, for posting all your charts. Torqued ups in here. Now it's a party, baby. It is a party. And you know, I hate to snap right into business, so I gotta ask each and every one of you where you are from. Tell me what state you are from. If you're out of state, tell me the country that you are a part of. I was just thinking about this yesterday. I know I'm right here in the beautiful state of Michigan, right on the cusp of Ohio. We're right here on the borderline, and I absolutely love Michigan. Michigan is a beautiful state. We get to see all 4 seasons. We get to really live through all 4 seasons. We never get too hot. We never get, well, sometimes we get cold, but lately in the past 10 years, never getting too cold. So I absolutely love it. So let me know where you guys are at in the chat. I know where most of you are. I don't think I know where Norman's from, but thanks. Actually, the wife cut the hair. She's doing good. Dan Bob says he is in a state of confusion. Sir, I know you much better than that, especially when it comes to the market, because you use those moving averages to help give you a little bit better insight. We all know. Can slim, baby. Can slim. Virginia. Zamora's from Virginia. Jimmy Bright is from North Carolina. Dan Bob is still in a state of confusion. Dan Bob, I'm pretty sure you're from Florida, the good old state of Florida. But yeah, let me know where you guys are at. I was just thinking about it today. Let's get into this. Yosef, I thought you might be from over there, Israel. Yosef, thank you so much for joining us. This is awesome. What time is it over there, Yosef? Norman's from Massachusetts. Let's go. B. Stewie, Ohio, border of Michigan. That's right. We're going to come right to the border, you and I, B. Stewie, and we will arm wrestle until one of us wins, okay? And I get to use my leg because you're a big guy and I don't want to lose. I'm afraid to lose. Anyway, guys, let's just get right into this, shall we? The S&P 500. Now, we can look at this on the daily. We can look at this on the weekly. We can look at this on the monthly. there is one big thing I need to point out to you, and I did when we were in the Discord, but I really need to point this out to you guys, okay? Where this S&P 500 is at currently is at a very, very critical area. Now, there's a few things that I think is going to happen, and I have a plan for each one of these things, okay? Believe it or not, I do. I have a plan. But what I want to do is show you where the resistance is. Why is this resistance right here? Because look how many times. This is what we call price action. $550 right here, 550.50. This psychological and technical area has hit its head on its resistance multiple times since 2024 of July all the way through till October. This thing really would not break out of this area, okay? So what happens when you have an area of resistance like this, folks? Well, if we drag this price action, this area of resistance, and we bring it over here, don't mind me, I'm just over here working out, and we bring it over here, you're gonna find out really quick, this area of resistance where we pull off these lows, see? Major area of support, support, resistance, resistance. We break up above it, we come back, we retest it. This is a huge area right here. This, multiple times, it's been supported. It broke through, it retested, it's showing this area is support. 540 to 565. This area is huge. So if we zoom out, look where we are at, folks, okay? Not only did we just find this area once again and made it notably resistance, but we are back up into this area and just breaking above our first area of resistance. But we are in some murky waters, folks. This whole area is an area of resistance. The people that were afraid and shitting bricks down here are now thinking, well, hey, this could get worse. It could continue lower, and it very well could. And the reason why I sound negative, and I'm not the one that's beating the same dead horse, or however that saying is simply this. I'm always so positive, and I'm very positive that eventually we will be back on a bull run. We are in an area of resistance. I am expecting a pullback, and I was expecting a pullback, and I still am expecting a pullback. But if we look at the NASDAQ, the futures, they opened just an hour ago. And if we look at the futures, you can see we are already starting to get said pullback. Right here, the NASDAQ pulling back. We are at 19,417 currently. The pullback is not hard, and I do expect this, in best case scenario, to pull back and find support where? Above this new higher low. Your NASDAQ down here, boom, we created a low, a new higher low, and then I'm expecting this to come down and hold somewhere above this previous low, asserting itself as the third new higher low as it carries on and gets above what? The 200-day moving average. You better believe it, people. We are still below this 200-day moving average. There's a lot of positivity. There's a lot of negativity. And I will be very frank. I love to hear the negativity. I love to hear it because when so many people are so damn negative, it makes me feel so damn special and so smart to go long in a market when social sentiment is down. Okay, so we are starting to see things revert. We are starting to see new higher lows, but we are not out of the waters yet. We are looking for that beautiful, beautiful follow-through day. We are also looking to be above a 200-day. The moving averages look like spaghetti right now, so be careful. I'm not saying you can't trade. Just make sure your risk management is dialed in and you're using less shares than you're used to using. One big thing that was pointed out is tariffs are still abroad. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. We are getting a lot of good news coming in here, yada, 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 but nothing has really changed. What is going on? Let's check up on the chat. Dan Bob, yeah, Florida line, okay. Georgia Florida line, torqued up. Toronto, he says. Red Wings fan, though. Okay, we accept you, Torque. Let's see. Oh, B. Stewie, you ain't gonna snap my arm. Hey, B. Stewie. That's why I'm using my leg. Come on, man. Oh, man. 4 a.m. in Israel, Yosef. Wow, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing up? You just don't sleep? Jolene's in the building. Let's go. Sideways act. Yeah, I can live. I agree with you, Dan Bob. Sideways action, man. That would probably be the most constructive thing to do here, guys. New higher lows. Get tighter. And then yeet skeetily do up to the north side after we get our nice follow through day. And then we'll be looking at the leaders. And we're going to go over the leaders very, very soon here. Another thing that I want to look at, because we looked at the S&P 500 and notably the QQQs or the NASDAQ 100. But I like looking at Bitcoin, especially because I do have a bias here. I do hold MSTU, which is MSTR, but it's leveraged. And, you know, I took out 1/5 when Bitcoin ran into this area. And now I'm thinking in the morning, I need to take out a little bit more, at least half, and then bring up my stop to break even. Because this is another huge area of resistance. Now, notably, if we zoom out, you will see multiple times that Bitcoin has bounced off this 200-day moving average. You can see a double kiss, a double kiss, a double kiss, and then it continues higher. But will it be the same? We'll see. You know, there's always something that could happen, right? But in my mind, I see an area of resistance. It's clear as day to me. I think we pull back and do the same damn thing. We create new higher lows. But we do have to remind ourselves why we are in this Bitcoin trade, meaning why are we in MSTR? Because Bitcoin showed relative strength while the S&P 500 was pulling back. Bitcoin held up very strong, still below a 200-day moving average on its pullback, but still held much higher than the rest of the ETFs. Bitcoin, maybe not so much a flight to safety, but definitely less concerning with the overall macro agenda as Bitcoin still held higher. So that's why we took a trade in a levered ETF like MSTU. So that's my thoughts and opinions on the S&P 500, on Bitcoin. We could go through and look at all the ETFs and everything, but you'll see when I show you the leaders, you'll know what's running, okay? Nothing is necessarily, you know, a flight or a go-to except for, you know, some of the stocks that we have seen like gold, but we're starting to see a lot of pullbacks there. Maybe we will take a look at gold just while we're right here because I've been talking about it. I'm still in gold, but I called this right here a capitulatory area where we are getting parabolic almost. Okay, so we do need to be careful. This looks more familiar on GLD. This is where I called this out as the Spider Gold Trust just went straight up. And I called this out in our Discord. I'm not tooting my own horn or anything, but toot toot. I've seen this numerous times recently at, you know, SMCI. We've seen this on MSTR, you know, when Bitcoin had that most recent rally. And, you know, we see the capitulatory volume and the parabolic areas in gold. And so is this doomed to fail? Well, I'll tell you this. My rules is that if my trade closes below the 21-day moving average, then I'm out. Currently, we're not. So I will continue to hold. Because do I really know? Is this really the top? I have no clue. That's why we have rules to keep our emotions in check, because we don't really know. All right? Let's keep on keeping on. What's going on? XRP Futures ETF launches April 3rd. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. XRP, huh? Carl Burr's in the building. What's up, Carl Burr? It's good to see you. So that's my thought on the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, Bitcoin, and gold. I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about these little things that are coming up this week because it might change the overall S&P 500, and that is, you guessed it, earnings. Take a look at my screen here, folks. Earnings is going to be nutso. Before the open on Monday, we have Domino's Pizza, MGM Resorts, Oprah, Roper, Revity, Bank United, FEMSA, Cemex, Alliance, and Bank of Marine after the close. Some of the more notable ones, Ameris Bank, we have Waste Management, F5, I'm not really sure who they are, but Cadence, Welltower, Transocean, Tuesday, SoFi, PayPal, UPS, JetBlue, Coca-Cola, Pfizer, Royal Caribbean Spotify, that's a big one. That's on my leader list. Shift 4 and Altria. That's Tuesday before the open, folks. Big day. Tuesday before the open is going to be an absolute monster. So if you weren't aware already, what you see on the screen here could completely change what the overall market sentiment is. This could take us much higher. This could take us much lower. I don't think Monday is nearly as important as Tuesday, but let's carry on because Wednesday is going to be even bigger. As before the open, we have Caterpillar, Generac, Genie, ADP, Heiss, and GE Healthcare. And then don't hold your breath because after the close, Microsoft, Meta, Robinhood, Qualcomm, Green Brick, Pilgrims, and Prudential all after the close. That's going to be big here, folks, especially Microsoft and Meta. Jolene says she exited SoFi Friday at the end of the day. Hey, cheers to you. Way to follow your rules. She did that because we don't like to play earnings here. We like to play after the earnings, trust me. Plenty of us, especially Torqued Up, also likes to play after the earnings, where there's earnings continuation plays that we like. We like earnings EPs. There's multiple ways and multiple people we learn this from, like Christian Quilamagi, like Stockbee, and one of our newest members that joined us was asking a lot of questions about EP. Actually, I think it was Carl. And Torqued Up actually came out with him a flood of information. And, it made me overjoyed, overwhelmed for this community just simply because I remember back in the Dizzy, when I first started, I was lucky enough to find a community like this, but man, I was lost. And if I asked a question, a lot of people didn't really know what they were doing either. I just thought that they did because I had such lack of knowledge. After you learn for a while, you realize your tight-knit community, you need to grow with them. So when new people come in, you can say, hey, look, these are the 4 videos you need to watch before you even start. These are the things that you need to learn before you just start losing all your damn money. And that's what I love about this community. So shout out to you, Torque. Shout out to you, Carl. You guys are awesome, and I love seeing how we take care of each other. Thursday, before the open, Eli Lilly, Roblox, CBS, MasterCard, Cyrus, McDonald's, Baxter, Shake Shack, Quanta, Builders. After the close, Amazon, Apple, Airbnb, Reddit, Big Bear AI. You guys like Big Bear. Five9, AIG. And then Friday, we have Fubo, Exxon, Mobil, AES, Chevron. We got some gas companies, Wendy's as well, which will give you gas. There's Magna. Guys, this next week is going to be nuts. It's in full tilt here. So make sure that you stay very locked in. Lock yourselves in. Know what you are trading. Make sure it doesn't have earnings coming up, or make sure you're not in a lagger of the leader. Make sure you're not in a slower moving stock that moves when the bigger boss does. Okay? So keep that in mind. So that is our earnings from our earnings whisperer. One thing I want to note that a lot of people don't really realize, because a lot of you guys are getting your information from wherever. I like to get it right from the tap. I look it up right here on Fred. Okay, this is straight from the source. Now, if you guys don't want to believe this, I don't give a shit what you believe. I like to look at these if I'm ever really thinking like, wow, is inflation coming back up? Are we starting to see inflation ramp back up? Well, right here is a beautiful line chart of the 5-year of what's going on with our inflation data. Let's just bring it back down to the past 3 years so that way you guys can see in a bar chart that we actually in the last 3 to 5 years, the last 3 years, we are at our lowest rate of inflation. His target is 2%, okay? We are at 2.4%, and he's in no rush to bring it down any further for good reason, because he loves Volcker. Volcker was the previous Fed back who had crazy inflation that he had to deal with, and he wrote a book on staying the course, because if you let up too soon on interest rates, then sticky inflation can come back rampant. And with the uncertainty of tariffs and things like this, he has said it himself, there is uncertainty. He does not know what's going to happen. So why try to make proactive changes to something that might not even occur. With that being said, I like to look at the United States inflation rate myself to see where we actually stand. And currently, old Papa Powell has been doing his job, at least on his end. Am I smart enough to say what he's doing is right or wrong or what he should or shouldn't be doing? Hell no. I'm just a dumbass here on YouTube watching the bros leaders list so we can make some money. That's all I give a shit about. So United States inflation rate, inflation is still going down. We're at 2.4%. Let's go, baby. And another thing too is we want to make sure that we are continuing to make money as a country. If we aren't making money, that is bad news bears. Pun intended. Okay, we need to be making money, or we're gonna be hurting, right? Right here is your COVID. You can see during COVID, our GDP is going to fall. We're not going to be producing a product as a country if we are all locked up, where none of us are doing anything, right? You can constantly see here, and if we just look over the past year, you can see this gross domestic product constantly rising, and that's what we want to see. We want to see us growing and making more product, okay? So let's just keep that in mind that we are doing fine. Currently, we are doing fine. It might seem bad. The market might, or the media might want to portray things as being very bad. The market will show you we definitely have uncertainty, but as the overall economy looks, we're still looking okay on these charts, right? You might not want to believe them. You know, I'm very skeptical myself. Let's see here. Let me catch up on chat real quick. Oh yeah. Who do we got, baby? Doc Fell, what's going on? He said late to the game, still in the house. Yeah, happy Sunday, baby. I have had the absolute beautiful Sunday, guys. I sprayed my lawn. I know some of you guys don't care to spray the lawn. I sprayed the lawn. I want to have the best looking lawn. And some people say the best lawn. Some people say the greatest lawn. And I'm out here, I'm spraying. I mowed my lawn once. I had to mow it a second time. Detroit baseball team came by. They wanted to play their practice game on my field. I told them, get off my lawn. Guys, what are you doing on my lawn? What's up, fella? It's good to see you again, man. I'm glad you're back. Let's see. Have a process, baby. That's right. Follow the process. That's right. Took a bounce with Bros MSTU. Yeah, man. Bros is looking good. And yeah, I took MSTU as well. Wish I'd kept the third of MSTU into this week, though. Yeah, see, I disagree. I disagree for two reasons. And see, I held 4/5. I'm actually holding 4/5 right now of my MSTU, but I do wish I would have sold half because of this resistance. Big resistance here. Big resistance. But yes, MSTU, big bounce here, but again, right into resistance. So we'll see. You know, we'll see. I don't like holding on to MSTU for too long because you're taking the 2X back, right? You're taking it back. So when I play, I like to play big, take a big chunk out, then let the rest sit and forget. But yes, I like the way you're trading, Loke. I like it. I like it. Dan, Bob, and B Stewie be rocking. They do. They kicking ass and taking names. All right, guys, let me take a little peeky gander because I got something I gotta show you here. I got a little something I want to show you. The Market Wizards books. If you're not aware of it, folks, the Market Wizards books are amazing. I love the Unknown Market Wizards books. There's hedge funds, Market Wizards, the New Market Wizards. There's plenty. Now, the New Market Wizards is a new book that's coming out in 2026. It says it's dated for the summer. The reason why I'm so excited is because one of my favorite traders I've learned a ton from, Christian Quilamagi, will premiere in this book, and I'm so freaking pumped to listen and hear this, so make sure you guys are excited for the New Market Wizards book. There's plenty of books, plenty of great books out there, but the Market Wizards book, they get me dreaming. I'm like a schoolboy. I'm listening to these people. I start to act like I'm them, like in a sense of how they think and how they feel and what it takes to make the big trades. What gives them their conviction and how did they come about? I mean, I know you guys are you guys are in the same boat, right? You put yourself in their shoes because you want to be great. You want to be great. And what better to learn than from the greats? We have a poll. We already got 12 votes on the poll. New bull run or just a bear market rally? 83% of you say a new bull with some bumps. 17% say full bear and down she goes. Yes, sir. I do believe that we are in that bull market currently. I think we have hit a new all-time low in the overall market, but I could be wrong. You never really know. That's just where I feel. That's just how I feel. We're going to see if the overall market wants to hold these new higher lows, but we'll see. Vote on the poll if you haven't already, folks. And now I got a little something to show ya. You know, hot off the press, baby.
Oh, I see you over there. You got problems? We've got the beef.
All right, all right, all right. You already know who this is, boy. This is the beefiest of stews. The beef stewie. The beefiest of stew reports. Chin up Buttercup, charting by Beef Stewie. This is my buddy Beef. He's been following me since I started a YouTube channel. He had no idea I was doing, reading into charts and doing all that good stuff. And you know, he just came so far. I love calling him out because I love what he's doing. He didn't even own a computer when he first started. He's trying to do all of his trading from his computer. He's been doing, paper trading for the longest time, and now he's kicking ass and taking names. And I love looking at his charting. It's fun. MVST, I am in this trade as well, and it's just so cool to see a different perspective. So let's see what he has got. MVST, Microvast Holdings. You can see here we have earnings. They are slowly climbing here. You can see the pivot on the quarterly. The profit margin's a little bumpy here. But you can see, look, we have a huge push up on earnings here. Big push up. My big head's in the way. Let me get this out of the way. A big push up here, earnings, right? And then you can see we hold the majority of these gains, over half of these gains, as it finds support on the 21-day moving average. As it holds the 21-day moving average, it finds an area of resistance. I am French. That is French. As we pull back, it finds a new area of support. And I shouldn't say new because if we look, one thing that he didn't point out on here, not that it's necessary, but this same base right here has shown an area of support once again for MVST as it created new higher lows and got very, very tight right here. Now you can see he's also created another area right here, and we're going to go a little deeper into MVST very soon, but I also want to show you guys this too. He likes to use this point of control as well as anchored VWAP, and that is how he got such a beautiful, beautiful trade in on this. He actually got a better price than I did. And I always salute anybody who gets a better price than I do because that's what we're striving for, right? We're striving for the best price in the best area for the best risk to reward. Now, his risk reward and my risk reward, they're going to be different. They're going to be calculated different. But if you can find a tighter risk reward than the next guy, you want to learn. You want to understand why. And the anchored VWAP strategy he's been working with for quite some time now, and it was a beautiful take, and he is blessed to be in front of the computer when he took this. So shout out to you, Dan Bob. Really appreciate you drawing this up for us and posting this. So make sure you give him a follow. If you guys haven't followed Beef Stew already, let me just go ahead and put that up in the chat for you right meow. Go ahead, get there, like, subscribe. Well, not, what do you call it? Go X him? Like, go Twitterly tweet him? I don't... I'm lost. Y'all are better than me with that crap. Let's see what else is the old Beefy Stew's got for us. Let's see. Oh, Pay. P-A-Y. Let's take a little peek. So let's see. Pay here, market cap as $3.92 billion. You can see the anchored VWAP off the previous earnings gap up here. You can see it's shown an area of resistance multiple times. It's hit this white line multiple times. But now look, there's a change in characteristic with Pay. It's not only encroaching on its point of control, but it's just creeping above its anchored VWAP. Notably saying as well, look at the quarterly earnings. These are rising. The profit margin is rising. They are gradually making more income. I like Pay. You need to keep that on your watch list. This could very well break out from this area. It's got a great area of risk to reward as well if you're using this point of control or even concernably this previous low right here at $27. So beautifully done there, Beef Stewie. Absolutely love it. If you guys haven't already, make sure you go follow my boy Beef Stewie on the X. Oh yeah, and RBRI. I have this one too, Beef. I love it. Once you guys, when you've been trading with a certain group, we all know what we're all looking for. Everybody knows what we're looking for. Absolutely awesome. And so it's good to come on here and see that we're all kind of like looking at the same thing. So that is your boy Beef Stew. Thank you, Beef. Thanks, Beefy. The beefiest of stews. One thing that Dan Bob pointed out to me earlier, I want to show you guys this monthly candle right here. This is what you call a hammer candle. In my eyes, this is a very bullish candle. Again, you want to look at the daily right here. I already drew this purple area out for you. Yes, we see a lot of buyers at the end of the month soaking this candle right on up. Absolutely beautiful. It's what you want to see. But now we need to see it hold, okay? We could inevitably have a lot of people selling out into this area. We want to see it catch. It needs to hold. So we'll see very soon. But this monthly candle is very, very interesting to see. So I started looking back at other monthly candles just to kind of see which one kind of gave a clearer view. And this one was very interesting to see a big kind of soak up after it hits the bottom, a big soak up here. And then you can see it kind of comes back down and retests this soaking up area before heading higher. Same with this candle here. Big pull down, a big soak up, and then it comes down just a little bit and retests this soaking up area. Now again, this is on the monthly time frame, and it doesn't have to do this. This could very well just skip a beat and continue much, much higher. We've seen crazy things in the market, but I'd like to get a more realistic scenario and understand concernably that there is an area of resistance, and coming back and testing this soaking area once again would just be healthy for an overall continued bull run. B. Stewie says, smash it, baby. If you're just joining me, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. This is a beautiful community. I literally am doing that for you, not for me. I'm not making much off this YouTube. I think, you know, here and there we make a couple of shekels, but we are literally doing this because I love this community, and I absolutely love you for being here, because if you're here and you've stuck with me this long, you are here each and every day trying to better yourself in some way, and I appreciate that, and I want to surround myself with more people that are like that. So you have waited long enough, people, and so have I. I've yapped long enough. Let's look at the absolute best things that are trading in the overall market right now, okay? One thing that I just recently added, well, actually, we'll go over that one here in just a little bit. I'll put that up there with the rest of them. I'm going to tell you my trade idea on TTWO. Now, TTWO, if you didn't already know, this is the Grand Theft Auto 6. If you don't know, okay, if you're a boomer, if you're an old fogey, or old, let's just say if you're older than me, and you don't know what Grand Theft Auto is, okay, it's an amazing game. It's been out for 10 years. Grand Theft Auto 5 has been out for 10 years now. Grand Theft Auto 6 is to come out in November. I don't play video games anymore, but I know about this game, and I'm willing to buy a whole nother setup for an Xbox to play this game. With that being said, this is Take-Two Interactive. This just had a basing breakout that we called out in the Discord, guys. Absolutely free. We called this out right here. We called this basing breakout, and it's absolutely beautiful. Now, here's my trade idea on Take-Two Interactive. First of all, if you're not in it, you've already lost it, okay? This is extended right now, and I personally am gonna wait. You can go ahead and buy it. You can, if this is part of your rules, go ahead, buy in. But me, personally, I have to wait. We are extended on the 10-day moving average, and I wanted to see this get tighter right here before entering, and I hesitated, I didn't buy, and that's okay. Now I'm sitting on the sidelines, and I'm rooting for this trade to come back and retest this area to give me another shot while the overall market starts to be healthy. Now, when I take trades like this and the overall market is at an area of resistance, I'm taking very small share size, but I am noting that there are leaders in this market, okay? Notably, Take-Two Interactive, my trade idea is this. If we can find a way in, we sell by November. Buy the rumor, sell the news, folks. This thing is going to most likely continue higher until the game is actually released. This stock will price in what it thinks Grand Theft Auto is going to end up being and what they're going to make on it in the future. And it's going to ramp up, make it up to that area, and then sell off right before the news. You heard it here first, okay? It's not my first rodeo. I've seen it happen multiple times. Let's see if it happens again. Now, I could be completely wrong. This thing could be the next, you know, whatever. I don't really know. But when you're basing your whole existence off of basically one video game, I don't even know if they make another one, I think your existence is going to be very quick. It's going to be a big poof and then a pull back, just like we've seen in this thing before. A big poof and then a pull back. A big poof and a pull back. Are we going to get another big poof and before the pullback? We'll see. But expansion comes contraction, and after contraction, we start to see expansion once again. So we'll see if that's going to happen. Now, one thing I haven't been keeping an eye on, but a lot of people have been talking about, is Spotify. Spotify is a very clear leader, so we can't hide or not talk about it. That's good coffee, guys. I got 13 of you in here watching, and I only got 9 likes. What is going on, people? What do I have to do? I can't do a backflip anymore. Not that I ever knew how to do a backflip, but do your boy a favor. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and let me know right now in the chat, what are you holding, for goodness sakes? I already know what Torque's holding. I know what B. Stewie's holding. I know what Dan Bob's holding. I think I know what Jolene's still holding. What do you got? What are you holding? I think Carl Burr's still waiting for the market to turn around, which he has got more patience than I do. Shout out to you, Carl. But let me know. What are you guys playing? So Spotify. Spotify has earnings. So it doesn't matter what I say about Spotify, but look, it's a leader. It's got great EPS. It's got great sales growth. You cannot argue with that. It is a leader, and it's right at an area of resistance. You don't see it? I'll point it out to you. We have that same resistance on Bitcoin, that same type of basing resistance on multiple stocks. Spot has it as well. What I do like to see is it's above all moving averages, especially the 200, but above a 50, and we have the 10 and 21-day moving average starting to get above that 50. We want those to line up so it can continue higher, inducing a beautiful, beautiful move higher. Next up is PLTR. I think you guys know. Already. PLTR is number one. PLTR is number one in my book. Until somebody takes its light, PLTR has done everything right. I showed you the anchored VWAP off the previous earnings gap up. Then you've seen it break through after getting tight on top of it, above all moving averages, and then breaking out a beautiful mini trend break. If you guys didn't see it already, there was another one right here. That was a beautiful trend break. Harder one to hold on to. I will say that. That's definitely a harder one to hold on to. But another trend break. And then you had your overall daily trend break, which I was not a fan of this trend break. I was not a fan. And to be honest, that's why I'm not mad that I'm not holding this, because other than this small trend break here, to me, this wasn't a clean break. There's no arguing with it. It's beautiful, and I'm happy with everybody that has it, but I couldn't get into it. I just couldn't. This is, it's just not perfect for me. You know, it's not perfect. Where if you look at like MVST, the fundamentals weren't as perfect, but look at that. I mean, that is just, I just love that. And I've said that when we went to go take this trade, guys, I said, I am taking this solely on technicals. The fundamentals still look nice. And actually, after we took this, Torqued Up was actually talking about how the fundamentals do look decent. And its previous earnings gap up did show proper good news, okay? Now, this right here is just tight. Expansion, contraction, on top of a moving average, and then yeet skeetily do, baby. Now, where are we? Well, if you guys remember, we talked about this last Sunday, right here, okay? And I drew this line out. I said we are right into an area of resistance on MVST. I think the healthiest look would be this. And look, that's exactly what it's doing. It's following that back down. What I'm going to expect is that, just as previous, it followed this 10-day moving average. I confused that with the 21 when we were going over the B. Stewie thing. But the 10-day moving average, it follows this. Look how beautiful it follows this 10-day moving average. It follows it really, really well. So I want to see that same thing happen. If this thing starts to fall and gets tight on that 10-day moving average, like it's done multiple times, I am only holding a very minuscule amount of shares for this trade because of the overall market's condition. But if this starts to tighten up, I could really see MVST getting some movement to the north side. You already see it. It's all drawn out here for you right here. So yeah, you absolutely can see it. Dan Bob says he's got Uber. I love it. Sorry, Dave, my generation invented video games. Yeah, baby. Dan Bob, you're absolutely right, dude. Carl Burr says Hulk smashed. Let's go, baby. Yeah, you're looking at Dave. Are you in Dave, Carl? Did you take Dave? Let me know. B. Stewie says he's holding a hope and a prayer. What ticker symbol is that? The VIX? That's hilarious. Yosef says he's got ACHR, Hood, and TGTX. I'm glad you got those, brother, because they are leaders in this market right now. I don't care for ACHR as much, but definitely Hood and TGTX kicking ass. Dan Bob says AEVA, you're also in. All right, yeah. Well, that's a good one to be a part of as well. That's that semiconductor that's doing better than most with relative strength up the wazoo compared to the overall semiconductors. So that's a good look for AEVA. I might have to put that on the leaderboard list for sure. Let me go ahead. Let me switch this really quick. Oh, I do have that on my leaders. Okay, we're good. We got it, baby. We got it. All right, let me go over a few more, guys. So we also have CrowdStrike. Now, I missed my chance on CrowdStrike, and it's going to look a lot like PLTR. So it just depends on what you're looking for. You can look at the growth in both of these, EPS and sales growth in both of them. But CrowdStrike, PLTR, whatever, what have you. But yeah, CrowdStrike's doing very, very good. We also have Uber, and I know Dan Bob is holding Uber. I pointed this out last week as well when we were right here on this trend break. Beautiful trend break. Absolutely beautiful trend break right off this big area, this big basing area. Beautiful trend break. We drew this out, okay? And I said, you know, I want to be a part of Uber, and I missed the trend break. But why I'm not fearing is because I am starting to grow more partial to base breakouts. And if we look at this, you can see a beautiful base is starting to form, and its last trading day showed true to that basing area. It's showing that it's wicking off. So it's a good sign for me in the longer term that Uber will start to contract and get tighter underneath this $80 area. So I will then have a turn to catch that momentum for it to continue higher. So beautiful. I'm glad you're in it. I hope we are in it to win it, baby. I hope you like those momentum trades. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe, baby. We got 15 of you in here. How many voted? We only got 13 votes. What the hell are y'all waiting for? 77% say new bull with some bumps. Torqued Up said DGX looking for some sideways action below resistance. Nice little earnings prop, possible flag coming. Let's take a look at DGX. DGX is Quest Diagnostics Health Service. We have been seeing some health service stocks, and DGX looks like it's just on the cusp as it's starting to grow with EPS and sales growth. So that's a very nice one to see. DGX, we're going to go ahead and add that to our leaders list for certain here. DGX. Yeah, we definitely want to keep an eye on this one. I love seeing like these early, and it's not that early, right? No, it's definitely not that early. But what I do like to see is that we are catching the EPS and the sales growth, what seems to be early, as it's slowly increasing here, is what I should say. Now, we do have earnings coming up here, it looks like, so be careful with that. But yes, some sideways action. I know you like those earnings pop torqued up, so keep a close eye on that for sure. Well, I'm going to keep a close eye on CELH as well, guys. You know, if you're one of those value investors or those longer term kind of buy and hold, keep an eye on CELH. I like the relative strength while it was bottom feeding down here, now above all moving averages. It's got some fighting to do, but it's definitely one that I'm watching. And that was CELH. Back to the big boys, though, we have WGS. I haven't checked in with this one yet, but you can see here another basing breakout area, as well as this trend breakout area that did not hold up. You can see that it has this beautiful uptrend here that held, sure, but this now is back into those all-time highs. You can see it's got just kind of, you know, this look to it where it just keeps this trending higher. So, you know, if you like this, it's got EPS and sales growth. I like WGS. I don't think this is an area you want to buy. It looks like it's going to pull back. We have we have extension from the moving averages, and you know we're at an area of resistance. So just keep an eye. Just keep an eye. We also have Hood, and I know, let's see, Yosef's in Hood as well. Hood's looking good, man. And you know what? And Marty Chargin actually brought this up. That's who brought it to my attention. I love his analysis as well. But how we're playing MSTR, and then there's Hood, which both are conveniently with Bitcoin, right? They both kind of carry on. But Hood is more detached, where MSTR, or MSTU in our case, we're linked with Bitcoin. There's no getting away from it. Where Hood is more finance, right? Where they can cater and go off into different things. Where MSTR is only going to buy more. They're just going to buy more Bitcoin. So they're kind of like a one track. If Bitcoin does good, they do good. Well, if Bitcoin doesn't do good, that doesn't mean Hood's not going to do good. Concernably, it might come down with Bitcoin, but it is still its own entity and it doesn't need Bitcoin solely. So Hood is an area of resistance right here. You can see it plain as day. It's got a big push. It's extended from its 10-day moving average, but above all moving averages and definitely showing strength. Everything that I'm showing you is strong, very, very strong. Carl Burr says, Hims look good to me also. Yeah, Dan Bob, I know you're a fan of Hims. Let's take a look at Hims. And then I got quite a few more. You guys, I know that you guys are keeping an eye on that we definitely want to get over. So Hims, you guys, Dan Bob has pointed out multiple times that they lost their health drug, their weight loss drug. Now, even losing that weight loss drug, we haven't seen any change in their sales growth, and that might simply be because they have lost it within their last earnings. So this is very, very important to them. If they're going to see a big notable change, we're going to hope that whatever weight loss drug that they lost doesn't affect their earnings. If it does, I think we're going to see a very concernable gap down, and then we might see a rollover into a stage 4 decline. If that is said, then we need to be really, really careful. The wife's home with groceries. Hi, babe. Well, I should probably go help her carry those in, but instead we're going to keep on with this show. You guys can give me shit in the chat. Jolene's probably like shaking her fist, like, get your ass out there. What's up, mama? It's good to see you in the chat. Good to see you, good to see you. Let's look up Dave. Carl Burr. Did you buy Dave? Did you buy it? Are you in it? I know it's got an RS rating of 98, which is very strong. Look at the EPS and sales growth. You cannot argue with that. What I see right now is a declining moving average, but above all of them. So the first thing that I see is this green line that I drew out a while ago, and it also looks like that same concernable head and shoulders pattern as this might roll over lower. I wouldn't trust this thing yet. Just me personally. I know you didn't ask. But me personally, I wouldn't trust this thing until first it breaks this trend, which it looks like it may have, depending on how you want to look at this. But the basing breakout right here, I think for it to show true strength, it needs to get above this area, because this area is a huge, huge area of resistance. I'll just draw this out really quick. As you guys can see, this whole area right here is just a big sideways action. Now, this is good because we want to see months and months of sideways action before breaking out of a basing top. So it's good to see it, but it's not good to be playing in the middle of it. As a momentum trader, I want to wait until we get this basing breakout. Now, there's no shame in trying to pick and get a few shekels and shares into here, as long as you have proper rules in place, you know. And, you know, I'm not... Oh, you found Dave with my scan this weekend. Okay, cool. Yeah, that the scan was pretty good. The scan was pretty good. I felt like there was a lot out there, but not a lot that I don't already have on the watch list. So So Dave's looking good. Him's looking good. Now, I know Joseph is in TGTX. This thing had a beautiful trend breakout. You can see it right here. One of the reasons why I didn't take it is because it didn't have that third new higher low that I like to see. We have a low, one new higher low, but before the trend breakout, it had the retest. I called out the retest. These things are the hardest things to really to take. I say it all the time, but it usually can be one of the most rewarding. So keep that in mind. A trend breakout with a retest. Joseph, I would love to know your price, where you caught that. TGTX, if it's not on your watch list, you need to definitely add that to your watch list. We also, we already went over HIMS. MRX. So guys, I've been talking about MRX for weeks now, how this really has been a leader. And you know, it's just one of those fairly newer stocks that IPO'd that had a beautiful trending basing area, had a cup with handle, and another trend breakout. The RS rating is at 98 right now. This is showing and proving to be a leader in this overall market. And I have a few more that I want to go over with you. If you're pressed and you got something that you want to show me, let me know. I will go over it in the watch list. I got about 10 more minutes, and then I'm going to take off, grab something to eat, and hit the sack. We're going to end the poll. So if you have just joined us, make sure you vote. We got 13 of you watching, 13 votes. So if you got anybody new, the question is new bull run or just a bear market rally? I want to know. I know 77% of you say it's a new bull run with some bumps. That's what I like to hear. Joseph says 39.56 on TGTX. Let's mark them out. 39.56. So right here is the Joseph line. Let's go ahead and throw Joseph on here. Where is Joseph? Where's my boy Joseph? Here's Joseph. The Joseph line. Joseph, you're so handsome. All right, so this here's Joseph. This is where Joseph bought. Absolutely beautiful. It almost looks like you took a like a base breakout on this. Did you? Did you consider this a basing breakout? I see it. I definitely see that. If I just take this line and I pull it all the way across, you can see that this $40 area is very, very key area. So I like it, Joseph. Nice trade, nice trade. It looks like you got good risk reward. I'm assuming you're probably using previous day's low, or at least that 10-day moving average is kind of your guide. But yeah, I like it. I like it. Let's look at, yeah, torqued up. MRX was super clean, cup and handle, yeah. And that's, you know, that's what we're looking for, guys. We're looking at things that are clean. That's why, you know, I brought up MVST. It doesn't get any cleaner than this trend breakout. This is what you're looking for. You need to train your eye for shit like this. MRX, just as simple. Look at this beautiful trend breakout, and Torque is just pointing out the cup. What is the sentiment behind the cup? Well, people are taking profits. Some people are selling. Most people are paper handing out, but the true holders, the ones that believe in this company, they hold, they don't sell, and it creates this sustaining buying power as it comes back around, retests the area as the weaker hands sell out, and then it breaks out and heads higher. And when it breaks out and heads higher, the people that weak-handed and they sold out, they have fear of missing out and they're starting to buy again, and it's perpetuating the stock higher. That is your philosophy behind the cup and handle, and it works. It works, at least until it doesn't. But even when it doesn't, it works. Even when it doesn't, you can play it the other way. You know, just like I always talk about these trending breakouts, a lot of time these trending breakouts, you can look at them in the same bear light where when you do one of these. And what happens when it breaks down this way? You short it, if your rules apply, okay? I have a couple more that I want to go over, like SRAD. As we talked about this previous, it did break out of that basing top, but this is the reason why we have stop losses. You take out as it heads higher, you sell into strength, bringing that stop loss up to break even. You would have stopped out still with a profit. SRAD was a basing breakout, but it didn't work out. ADMA looks like it's getting really tight here. I think we just talked about this, and talk about a cup with handle. You can see right here. Big cup. It's starting to form this handle. We'll see what wants to happen. I'm keeping an eye on Hertz just because I don't usually keep an eye on these things. It had a big pop up here on news. Earnings is around the corner, but this is one of those capitulatory pops that I would like to see really get some sustaining buying power, because if it does and it takes interest, as I think it was Ackman who made this big purchase right here, if he did, then we might see another capitulating push higher. So I'm just going to keep an eye on it. Just keeping an eye on it. Let's see if it catches on a moving average and maybe old Ackman sees something that we don't in this trade. We also have Road Construction Partners. I think it was Dan Bob that pointed this one out, or B Stewie. But it just looks like it's finding its trend once again. If you like this kind of stuff, the basing breakout shows proper risk reward right here. If it breaks out of this area, you can choose the previous low of day to kind of give you that area of risk. And I always keep it that tight, folks, because I'm a momentum trader. I want to see the momentum carry higher. If it doesn't, then I'm wrong. And I'm not going to be wrong for long. I'm going to be wrong, and I'm going to get out, and I'm going to look for the next trade. Also, SFM, I'm actually still surprised to see this continue higher, but it is now extended. This was that Dolly Parton kind of setup I was showing you. Beautiful basing area. Look at this. Base breakout, retest, heads higher. That retest, hard to buy, but it sure is paying off. LRN Stride showing awesome EPS and sales growth. We're seeing a beautiful cup. I shouldn't say beautiful cup. We're seeing a basing area. This needs more time, but I do like LRN. This is my ORLA trade. I'll just give you a quick update, just kind of tell you guys, you know, I got in this basing breakout. There's many reasons. There's an undercut and rally. It's in a hot sector. It's following a trend. It's a flight to safety in an uncertain market. My low of day risk was within the ADR percentage when I took it, and it was a basing breakout. I had to write all of these down because it was at a time in the market where it was uncertain, but I wanted to take this trade. Okay, so I had to give my reasons why. It all follows my rules except for market's direction. I set that rule aside and I took the trade with less shares than I normally would. As it breaks out here, we actually took some out at this capitulating top. We took half of it out, and then I set my stop to break even. Now, even though I think the gold run is over, which I do hope I'm wrong because I'm still holding gold, I am going to continue to stay in this until this closes below the 21-day moving average. Because if we look back here, this stock has been following this 21-day moving average for quite some time, except for the tariff scare, okay? For quite some time now. So if it wants to continue to hold the 21-day moving average, I'll continue to hold my half of shares. KTOS, let's take a little peeky gander. KTOS Solutions. We have some EPS and sales growth. And if we zoom out, a basing breakout looks like it's getting ready to occur right now. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. I do like KTOS. Interesting. I thought I had this on my leaders. Oh, I did have this on my leaders. I forgot I took this off. Okay, so KTOS 3378 is looking really, really good here. Not the best sales growth. It does have some. This isn't considered what I call a shit stock. This is actually a decent looking stock, but we do have earnings in 3 days. So keep that in mind. With 3 days left to go, you can't trade this stock. You're not a swing trader. You're day trading at that point, okay? So maybe this thing, you know, starts to eat skeetily do, and we get a nice you know, it's not going to be an EP because this thing's constantly growing, but KTOS looking good. So just to review, guys, we went over a little bit. Yeah, torqued up. You're on it, brother. You're on it, bro. Just to kind of review, guys, PLTR is my #1 leader. TTWO, a trade idea. If we get the pullback and retest, I promise myself I will buy it. We also have Spotify with earnings. We have lots of different earnings with Microsoft earnings and all this stuff. So keep that in mind. Uber's looking good, but I still think it needs more time. WGS extended, needs more time to pull back now. Hood, guys, long story short, we're extended on a lot of stuff. We're doing good. Things are looking good, but now we're looking extended. I think a proper pullback Well, we make a new higher low in the overall S&P 500 is going to be a lot more constructive than this rip, tater chip, and then fall out the bottom. We don't want that crap. And do keep in mind, we are one tweet away from hitting new all-time lows again, so keep that in the back of your mind as well. We aren't trying to get over, bullish or over bearish. We're trying to go with what we got, and right now with what we got is showing where things are looking a lot more certain, a lot less scary, but we are at an area where we need to now prove ourselves because we are going to pull back. We need to hold and then continue higher. So is this going to happen? Just keep in mind, folks, we're below a 200-day moving average, and that 200-day moving average is declining as well as that 50. So stay safe out there. Remember, you are a loser unless you're learning, and we like to learn here every single day. Thank you guys so much for being here with me, and I will see you out. If you haven't said something in chat, do it now so I can shout you out. The poll has ended, 77%. New bull market with a few bumps. I hope you guys have an awesome trading week. We'll see you in the Discord. Peace, baby. Let's go. All right, y'all. Listen. Sentimental and heart-filled shout-out to all the names as follow. B. Stewie, the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you for being here. Torqued Up, I am so pumped that you found us, dude. I think you and I trade quite the same, and I love that we are sharing ideas on here. Carl Burr, dude, thank you so much for being a part of this, Carl. You're awesome. Make sure you keep asking those questions in the chat. We learn while we're teaching, so ask as many as you can. Yosef, thank you so much for being here, dude. I hope you have a great night. Jimmy Bright, dude, I swear you live in this room, baby. You do. Norman Conklin, dude, I honestly, just a huge shout out to you. The fact that you're a member, that you trust me with your time, your energy, your effort, it makes me humbled and happy to know that that you chose me, that you're here, that you're kicking ass, you're taking names. Thank you for allowing me to continue to do this for you. Jolene from Cali Girl. Thank you so much, Jolene, for your continued effort. Absolutely love this community, and it would not be the same without you, Jolene. And I mean that with every something or another, something that's heart-filled. I'm saying heart-filled things. Mama, Ginger Hopper, thank you so much, Mom. I'm so happy that you found a good house, that you're moving back, and I can't wait to come help fix your clogged toilets. Dan Bob, Dan, my buddy, my friend, my compadre, my amigo, mi amigo. Thank you for being here, bro. You know I love you. And who else? Loke Dr. Fell. Man, we had some chatting going on tonight. Loke, thanks for being here, brother. I love when you show up. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. Zamora. You never skip a beat, Zamora. Thank you for being a huge part of this show. Guys, I can't believe you all are still here. There's still 12 of you watching. I love each and every one of you. I hope you have an awesome day. We'll see you in the Discord. Make sure you use risk management, people. I promise you, this new Wizards book that's coming out this summer, every single one of them is going to talk about how they learned risk management, and it's pinnacle to their trading. Love you guys. Peace.